before the actual red lights went out, Mika moved, and I almost moved with him as a reaction. And then when the lights went out properly, he made a not very good start. I made a better start, and naturally came over to defend what I could take on the line. And when I realised it was still going to be close, I opened out a little bit, and then there was a little bit of contact, but I don't think there was any damage done.
When you have two very competitive cars, equal speed, overtaking then is something which is not something what I should consider in that point. So and try to stay close to David doesn't make any sense either, because engine doesn't cool very well that moment. You take unnecessary risks.
I was quite happy to get away as well, because there was a little bit of confusion, and then I tried to do my own race, tried to be as quick as possible, and tried to maintain my rhythm. I tried to follow Mika as much as possible, but unfortunately McLaren, they were a bit too fast for us today.